morning, everybody. Today is October 29th. This will be episode 4. We're going to talk about gun selection, cartridge, caliber, whatever you want to call it, especially from my area. So down here in Georgia, you know, we're not a plain state, like I said in yesterday's video. We do get some clear cut, and we can get some longer shots. Hey Jill, you want to sit down? Like I said in the first video, you can't hit record without the dog getting in your face. Look, there you go. There you go, block it all up. Yeah, so, like I said, Georgia, we're not a plain state, but we do have, you know, a good bit of clear cut that we can hunt, and, you know, bean fields, that's where the term bean field rifle came from. So, in my neck of the woods, you know, we've got 480 acres I'd say 480, it's probably closer to 400 of clear cut. Now, yesterday's video, I showed you the tower stand, and from there, I can take up to an 800-yard shot if I had to. It's actually 894 to my other feeder from the tower. I'll never take that shot on game, especially whitetail, man. I don't know why you dudes do it. Get closer. Not that hard. I think we're going to cap it out at 400. So, with me, you know, I'm not saying that everybody needs to go and buy $1,000 rifle and $1,000 scope to hunt. I mean, most people don't. Most people need a $500 rifle and a $500 scope and $500 worth of ammunition to learn how to shoot. So, give you a little story breakdown for you about me and my rifle selection process through the past 6 or 7 years. So, when I first got real big into hunting, I never really worried about, hey man, is this rifle nice enough? Is it accurate? All I cared about, if I could hit a 10-inch target at 100 yards, I could kill a deer. So we ended up using some cheap rifles. A buddy of mine bought a Remington 770 300 Win Mag and put a damn $80 Bushnell scope on there. We killed deer with it. Right up to the point where it broke the bolt handle on it. And that thing would kick the shit out of it. And I used the damn 12 gauge with slugs. I mean, it's, we'll get over here. Come on. Go. You're gonna kill this. Anyways, I used the 12 gauge with slugs to kill my first deer. It was a dope. And I was happy as hell. The shotgun was like $200. Slugs were like $12. So no, you don't need a $1,000 rifle or a $1,000 scope or a $3,000 hunting setup or, you know, this and that. But as time's progressed for me, I've started transitioning into nicer guns, better quality optics, you know, nicer, just generally nicer stuff. Because, I mean, by trade, I'm a welder and a pipe fitter. So yes, I do make good money. But I also like to spend good money on my hunting stuff. I know quality of stuff lasts. Which, we'll get into some videos of my rifles and stuff, you know, hopefully, maybe a little later on today. But yeah, this year, man, we're going to be hunting with 3 main rifles. I got a Remington 700. It's an early 90s model. It was a varmint profile barrel when I got it. And it was sitting in an H&S stock. It was a good rifle. I had a little Nikon on there. It was a good rifle, man. You know, old boy told me that he hand loaded for it. You know, shot suppressed with it, and killed a bunch of critters with it. And I said, well, that's cool. So at the time, it's when all the internet craze of sniper movies went out, and I guess I got bit by the bug. So I was like, you know what? You got to do this, you got to do that, and you got to have this high power optic on there. And let me tell you, dude, so you know, this was, hell, I don't know, a few years ago. It was the first year that Magpul released the Hunter 700 stock, and now everybody wanted one, including me, so I bought one. So I put the Hunter stock on it and switched the bottom metal to the Magpul bottom metal. That way I can use the AICS battery mags. Now, it wasn't enough. Like, that gun shot good. It shot 3/4 inch groups, but man, I was convinced if I couldn't have a quarter MOA rifle that I didn't need it. So I messed around, took it to a gunsmith, had him true the bolt. Look at that dude. That's on the side of the road. Little spike. What was it? Oh yeah, I had him true the bolt, and I was convinced, man. Convinced the barrel was shot out. It wasn't nowhere near shot out. So I had him put a Schilling match barrel on there with a heavy barrel contour. Threaded 5/8 by 24, so I could put all the cool stuff on it. Muzzle brakes, pick rails, all that. And I said, all right, so that was done. Put a scope on it, still 1/2 inch gun. I said, you know what? I said, this thing needs a new trigger. So I went out, bought a damn Timony trigger. Oh, I'm sorry, the first one I bought was a Jewel. I spent like $500 on a damn trigger. The first one I bought was a Jewel. And I said, you know what? This is awesome, man. Shoot, it pulls at a pound. Yeah, that's awesome. Don't put a pound trigger on your hunting rifle. That's a bad idea. That's how you get your face shot off in the middle of the woods. So, I was convinced. All right, this is it. This is it. Went out there, gun shot a 1/2 inch. So what I'm getting at is, you can drop all this money on a rifle, but if you can't shoot better than a 1/2 inch, your rifle can't shoot better than a 1/2 inch. The gun's only capable of what you do. So this year, we're switching it up. I'm not gonna hunt with a 308. Well, I am a little bit, but not a lot. Primarily my new hunting rifle is going to be my Bagheera. It's a B14 Ridge rifle. It's a good, it's a nice rifle. I don't like the finish on it. The finish is kind of iffy, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Topped it with a Vortex Viper. Nothing crazy. Yeah, it's a Viper HST, I think. It's a 4-16. Nothing crazy. It comes factory threaded. It's got a nice trigger and a nice bolt. So put a Silent Chico ASR mount on there so I can, mount my suppressor. And I started hand loading for it. Got it shooting 1/4 inch groups like I want. So, and yes, I am a 1/4 inch shooter at this point in my life. I can finally say that. I can, with my rifles and my ammunition, I can shoot a 1/4 inch group at 100 yards. I'm very happy about that. It's taken me a lot of years and a lot of ammo to get to that point. But yeah, that's going to be my primary hunting rifle. We're going to take it to Missouri with us this year. Then we're going to use the Armalite AR-30, 300 Win Mag, which I'll show some pictures of it too. The only thing I've done to that rifle is that I've cut the barrel and re-threaded it, re-crowned it. That thing is super heavy out of the box. We're kind of cheating on it though, man. I feel like a little. We're running 6, I think it's the Sierra, I don't remember. But anyways, it's the BDX system where it's Bluetooth, the scope to my phone and my rangefinder to my phone, and it gives me all the drop calculations in my scope, which is cheap, I feel like. But I'm gonna use it because it's cool, I think, maybe, as long as the shit holds together. But yeah, that's a damn half inch gun all day with factory loads, Jeep factory loads. I started loading up some 212 grain ELDXs for it. Turned it into a 1/4 inch gun, which is awesome. I don't know how long it'll hold together like that, but we'll get into that. We'll get into some reloading stuff, maybe do a little gear reviews and everything a little bit later on. First, I got to run over here, do some maintenance on the truck, get everything on this ready for hunting season. So, y'all stay safe. Happy hunting. You hear that? The sound of silence. Now, I don't know how you feel about it, but I can tell you how I feel. I think everybody in the damn United States should own a suppressor. Man, it makes it so much better in the woods. You know, if you pull a shot, say 275 yards like I did last year on a doe, with an unsuppressed gun, you ain't getting a second shot. I got a second shot, dropped the doe. So, tomorrow, which I'll probably roll this video in tomorrow, we're going back to the land. A buddy of mine needs to shoot his rifle. He has a Bagheera B14 Ridge and 30-06, identical to mine. The only difference between our gun is the scope mounts. He's running a worn rail and Vortex rings, and I'm running a DNC one-piece mount. Now, let me tell you, when it comes to your scopes and your scope mounts and your bases, rings, whether you're running a cantilever on an AR or, you know, 2-piece rings, don't cheap out on your scope rings, because it will drive you absolutely insane if you have a rifle that you think's going to shoot good and you put a $12 set of Weaver damn tactical rings on there and it doesn't group. Well, that's where you messed up, buddy. So, I always, you know, live by a rule, and it's kind of what my dad taught me, is that if you spend $500 on a gun, you better put $1,000 in the scope, because the rifle's going to be more capable than a $200 scope. Now, I'm not saying that $200 scope won't kill you in here, but if you're shooting at range, you know, 200-300 yards, I mean, just the glass quality. I mean, it's, look through an $80 Bushnell at damn 300 yards, and then look at a, you know, $1,000 Vortex. Now, I know you're going to say, well, there, Justin, you're not comparing apples to apples. No, I'm not. I'm not comparing apples to apples, but look at a Vortex Crossfire versus a damn $200 Bushnell scope. $230 for a Vortex Crossfire, and it's got clear glass. It's better than the glass was in Nikon's high-end scopes, you know, 10 years ago. That scope will cost you $230. Now, you can get away with a $230 scope if you put a good set of rings and a good set of bases on your gun. Eliminate any variables that you can while you're shooting. Now, me personally, I like a one-piece mount. Keep it simple. Scope goes in the mount, mount goes on the gun. There's no, hey man, I think this screw came loose, my pick rail sliding. Oh no, this quick throw lever on this mount is loose and now my scope's off. I mean, hey man, if you're gonna play stupid games, you're gonna win stupid prizes. Keep it simple, man. I mean, I ain't trying to do a product plug for them, but DNC makes good shit. I love them. I love their mounts. I put them on any rifle that I can. And so far, I've gotten 4 sets of them. And after you put the mounts on the rifle and mount the scope, it's not going to move. Now, for instance, a 308 that I was talking about earlier, back when I was, you know, first getting in, seriously into, you know, shooting and long range shooting, and, you hunting or whatever. I bought an EGW rail, which is kind of like a hybrid weaver slash Picatinny thing that'll accept either rings. And I put a set of cheap ass scope rings on it. Sorry, I gotta back this truck up. So, my thing is, I would take it out and I would zero the rifle. I would come home. Lost the trip. Where'd you go? There you are. Sorry, fellas, I got to turn off the light for a second. Anyways, I would shoot the rifle, zero it, come home, put it up, clean it, blah blah blah, all that good stuff, take it out. The next time, and the damn zero would be off. And I would never understand why. Until my dad told me. He said, man, you need to check your scope rings. So sure enough, I even put blue Loctite on them and everything. Everything you're supposed to do, I did. But because I was wanting to be a badass and run these stupidly overpowered 308 rounds that I was making at the time, the recoil was so bad that it was knocking the damn scope rings loose. So here's my advice for the night before I call it quits. Go in, chill out, spend some time with the kid. Don't cheap out on your scope rings or your bases. Tomorrow, I'm going to roll another video into this. I think this one's kicking on, about 6.5 minutes. So, I'm going to get some videos of my two rifles and a buddy of mine's Magera. And then my dad's, he's got an old 742 Woodmaster that I just started loading for. And we put a Nikon on it and DNZ rings. Try to figure out why it's not grouping. I think the rifle shot out myself because I've never seen a 742 that didn't like 180 grain round nose bullet. But it may be the bullets that he bought them from a local shop that loads their own, and man, from what I can see, they weren't consistent at all. So, but yeah, tomorrow's gonna be another day. We'll roll a video in. So, good night. See you in the morning. Morning. Today's the 30th. Headed out back to the land. Check a few rifles out. Man, that sun's killer. Sorry about that. Hang on. We'll be out of here in just a second. Check some rifles out. Got my son with me. He's in the back watching my phone. See how that turns out today. Maybe he'll give it up here in a little bit when we get out there. I know what you're all thinking. Ooh, what you gotta give the kid the phone, blah blah blah. He's 3. You're just keeping him entertained so I can do this damn video. So, where did we leave off last night? Talking about scope rings and braces. Yesterday was pretty much about caliber choice for rifles. Well, today I brought 4 different calibers. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them are my hand loads. And we'll get some videos of them. I had a guy ask me the other day how I loaded my 300 Win Mag. So I brought it to go over that. Got to check some cameras out at the land today. The Swamp Light camera with the batteries being dead, it's got me a little nervous. Because I put out a lot of corn right there the past couple weeks and I don't know what the hell's eating. Whether it be birds or deer, coyote, chupacabras, whatever it is. But it's a little foggy out this morning, man. Temperature's about 75. High's gonna be in the 80s, 87, what they're saying. temperatures are easing off a little bit, which is a good thing. Makes deer season's right around the corner. So, but yeah, man, we're gonna go out there and have a good time today. So we'll get some more video rolling in here in a minute. I'll see you in a few. So we're headed back home. Kids in the back passed out. We had a good time. So yeah, we got my bow tuned in. Adjusted it a little to the left. And let's see, what else did we do? I got the 6.5 out. Ended up selling it to another club member. Got it four-sided. As a matter of fact, he shot one of the best groups I've seen with that rifle in a long time, other than when I had it. And shot a buddy of mine's 30-06 and his 44 mag. Got them hitting both the way he likes them. He's one of those inch high at 100 guys. I don't know why the hell you want to inch high at 100 yards with a 44, but that's the way he sets it up. So his gun, you know, his world, whatever. So I'm gonna roll in some videos of the tower stand view from it, Zeb stand, which is a pretty good spot. Looks to be productive. Deer coming through, but yeah, we're gonna get back on the calibers and stuff. So get asked, you know, what I run my 30-06, my 300 Win Mag. This right here is my 30-06. It's a 180 grain Nosler ballistic tip with 51 grains of Vinavori M550 powder. I set my overall length at 3.35. It's just a hair longer than a standard 30-06, but my Bagheera likes it like that. Shoots 1/4 inch groups. It's a good load. Hornady brass, CCI Magnum rifle primers, which I run in everything. I don't use standard primers. Everything I use is a Magnum rifle. I don't load too much stuff that uses a small rifle primer. Thank God right now, because you can't find them. But yeah, that's a 1/4 inch load in my Bagheera will be shooting. Then my 300. That's it right there. I don't know the overall length. I never measured. Yeah, these are the Hornady brass ones. The 212 grain DLDX, 63.2 grains of Reloader 17 CCI primers. These right here are going to do some damage. Pretty excited about these. And I think I got some my 7 mags in here. Yeah, that one. That's with a 168 Burger Classic Hunter Hornady brass CCI primer. I don't remember the powder charge, but I'm not shooting these. Last time I shot these, they were a little hot. So, but yeah, man, it was a good day overall. We moved the stand. I say moved, rotated. Checked some trail cameras. Tim, another guy in the club, checked his. He had the same 5-pointer I had on camera. And then he had the same 5-pointer I had on camera. And an 8. I ain't ever seen it before. It's new deer. It showed up out of nowhere. Which ain't saying much in 650 acres. You know, you get deer coming and going. Let's see, man. Yeah. So, back to the talk about calibers. There's a lot of debate and a lot of talk on what caliber's good for what. Me, caliber don't matter that much. I mean, as long as you're shooting whitetail and you keep it in with a reasonable distance, I mean, you're gonna kill. I mean, it's all about shot placement. I've seen dudes drop elk, you know, 6.5s, which doesn't make sense to me because I have a love-hate relationship with the 6.5 Greenhorn. It's an awesome round, and it will kill deer. The bullets that I were using at the time when I first picked up that rifle were 140 grain federal non-typicals, and I wanted to check out the 6.5 before I got in to load before it, and spend a whole lot of time on load development, and then end up hating the cartridge. So I bought 3 boxes of federal non-typicals. Put a 6 Sierra scope on it. I took it out to Missouri and I killed 3 deer with it. 2 of the deer dropped in their tracks. The 3rd one I hit 3 times. Wasn't happy about that. Now I don't know if that's due to the ammunition or just the inherent design of the bullet, but I was not impressed with the 6.5 Greenhorn. A lot of guys use them, a lot of guys have good success with them and all that, but man, me, dude, I'm a 30 caliber guy. You know, I do like a 7 mag, but the only 7 mag I have is heavy as hell. It's a 9-pound rifle. It's too much to be talking about. I say 9 pounds, it's almost 10 and a half with the scope. But I'm a 30 cal guy, man. I like a 308, I like a 30-06, I like a 300 Win mag. When I get to the house, we'll pull out the 2 rifles I brought with me, get some pictures of them, show you how I've set them up, how I run them, and then we'll go from there, man. It's just now getting 2:15, so we should have a few minutes before we get home, so I can show you some stuff. So, all right, man. We'll catch up with you in a little bit.